All right, so I'm going to close out number 7. But again, the files we're going to be using today in class, at least one of them is right here. I didn't want to give you too much more today, that's why I didn't put the other file up there. But we're going to be using a nursery rhyme file. So if you want to open that one, all right, you don't need to open it. We're just going to be using it. Okay. Now I have to leave either exactly as class ends or maybe even a couple of minutes early till I have to run all the way across town. All right, let's talk about the next data type. We're going to cover sets today and dictionaries next time. Okay, you can actually use sets for part of this program. Actually, you could use it for all of this program. That'd be weird, but you could. Okay, so we're going to talk about sets. We're going to talk about dictionaries. We're going to talk about how to use them, why they're better or worse, and so on and so forth. So we're going to cover this here. Let's talk about sets. A set is a container that stores a collection of unique values. Okay? So what does that first sentence mean? Stores unique values. Okay? So if I have a set containing names, okay, and I put all of your names in there, okay? I have 2 Williams. What will happen? I won't get an error. It just won't import the second William.
Other William.
For the other William, yes.
I don't feel so.
Okay, but we're going to cover that. Okay, so unlike a list, the elements that are members of a set are not stored in any particular order. You cannot reference them by index. You know how with a list you could do, you know, colons, you know, square bracket 0. Can't do that with a set. They're just thrown in there. Operations are the same as the operations performed on sets in mathematics. Don't worry about that. Because sets do not need to maintain a particular order, set operations are much faster than equivalent list operations. Okay?
So it's faster to do math with this rather than with.
Definitely. And it's not just math. It's faster for lots of things.
So you just call it rather than trying to specify where it is.
You can search for it, stuff like that. We're going to see all that. Now, I put this extra bullet down here. They are unordered collection of unique elements. So if I was going through making a set, adding names one at a time, that doesn't mean they're going to end up in that order. They could be in a different order. It just depends on when they're stored. Okay. So a set contains 3 sets of colors in this example. The color of a British are British, Canadian, Italian flags. Says in each set, the order does not matter and the colors are not duplicated in any one set. So it's like the U.S. flag, we always say red, white, and blue. What do they say in Britain? Anybody? How do they list their colors? Do you know?
Blue, red, white.
I mean, they're blue as well. I just don't know how they do. I was just wondering. So the point is, in a set, we're not going to specify blues first. We might put blue in the set first, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to maintain the 0 position or the first position.
St. James and the other one, I can't remember.
I can't remember either. So these are 3 different sets. Okay, no duplicates. That's one of the most important things. Remember my right at the end of class last period, someone pointed out a problem with my prepositions file.
Yeah.
That as was in there twice.
Yeah.
So adding it to a list caused an issue, because then I could find it twice. But if I'd used a set rather than a list, I wouldn't have had that problem. And you can actually use them together. You can actually add them to a set, you know, make a set, convert it to a list, or vice versa. So kind of cool. All right, in our example here, we're going to create a set of Luigi, Gumby, and Spinny. Spinny is, I don't know. Spiny, whatever. Is that a person?
Mario character.
Oh, obviously I play games a lot. Okay. So Gumby's a Mario character.
I think Gumbies are like the one thing.
Yeah.
Way above me. Well, I didn't take the Mario class. So they're stored in there, not necessarily in that order. They probably are, but don't have to. So alternatively, you can use set function to convert any sequence. Now, so if I have a list of names, I can convert them to a set very easily. just by using the set function. And names would then be converted. Actually, let's try this. This would be a good one to try. I'm going to start up this program I learned called Idle. Pretty handy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
what's idle?
Yeah, it's rare.
On shell?
Let's do this thing here.
We're
And we're going to give it a name. We're not doing Mario characters because I don't know them. Ken? Actually, we'll do my cats. We have Snuggles,
That's a Mario character.
who's no longer very snuggly, which is very depressing. Then we have Gracie. Oops.
That's another Mario.
We used to call her Grumpy Cat, but she's no longer Grumpy Cat. And we have Butter.
That's another. Butter your bread.
Called her Buttercup. Now it's Butter Butt, Butter whatever. And we have Tattooey. How do you spell tattoo? Is that Tattooey?
Is it?
Is it close enough?
3 T's.
T-A-T-T.
How do you spell ratatouille?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not.
Probably a Y in there too.
What's that?
Tattooey.
That's close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you in there as well.
Tattooey.
Cookie.
Yeah. This is good Star Wars now.
What?
Like, isn't that kind of like registered with a tag or anything?
Nah.
Things like that.
Nah.
Okay.
This is a cat.
But I'm going to add a second. Actually, let's just leave it like that for right now. So there we go. So if I just take names, I get the names of my chats. Okay.
Not in the order you put.
Actually, you're right. They're not in the order I put them in. And I always think that's the weirdest thing because, when we're adding this in memory, you'd think it would start at the beginning or potentially at the end, but it really didn't start at the end, did it?
No, just kind of put things random.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try this again.
How is it? I mean, if you ran it again, would it come up the same, or is it just if you call names again? I mean, so obviously there's some system to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what if I do this? Okay, so now it should be wiped out. You agree? Should be.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got to have some sort of, I just don't know what it is. It's not alphabetical. It's not first or last, so I don't know what it is. So let's try doing it again. But this time.
Maybe it's alphabetical by length. So first it goes by length of the, so Cookie and Gracie are both
So let's try that.
6 each.
That's a good
And
question.
then,
So we need another cat.
Yeah, okay. No, that's wrong because Butter is. I don't know.
If it was like that, butter
Oh, yeah,
would be
butter
like
would be-
second.
Yeah.
Now I have Gracie in there twice. Let's see what happens. So in theory, we should only have Gracie one time. Only
Correct.
Gracie one time. See that? So it stuck Sam in right between the butters. No,
Wow.
no idea. So this is how you use a set. Now let's create a list.
So what's sort of like what would be like the in what situation would be better for you to set than a list?
Greeting and prepositions.
Wow.
We're really not going to care what order they're in the file. And we don't want duplicates, so that would solve my problem. So by doing that, by using a set, we can access them much quicker. Okay, did you have a?
Oh, I was just going to say that if you have a bunch of information and you just want one of each unique value, use a set. But if you want one of everything, then use a list. So the set just is going to pull each unique value, no matter how many times it's in there. So if you have a paragraph and there's like the and a and so on and so forth, and you don't want and they listed every time, you just want the fact that it's in there.
Yeah, so it gets each value once.
Yeah.
Could also do it like measuring cups, unlike my house. How many of you got more than one set of measuring cups? Why? Why do we have like 5 sets? We really don't need them.
Well, we don't want to wash the ones that are.
So if we had a shopping set rather than a shopping list, we would say we already have a pair.
So that when you're baking something, you have
Sorry.
Oreo and sugar.
But we have like 10.
Oh, okay.
It's like damn cups everywhere. It has me crazy. And then you lose half of them. Then when you need that or the teaspoon, the half a teaspoon, it's gone. No idea where it is. All right. So now we're going to create a list. I'm going to call it names. Actually, you know what? I can just do this. Let's go away. Go away. I'm going to take this here and I'm going to convert it to a list just by doing this.
So was it a set before?
It was a set. It had squiggly braces.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we got a list coming up here. Now, if you look, I have Gracie in there twice. See the difference?
You have Gracie in there twice, and it's a completely different way of doing it. So,
Yep. So now if I say cats equals set names, what do you think it did to the second Gracie? She's buried in the backyard now.
Oh. Terrible.
All right, so you see the difference between a list and a set.
That's funny.
No one go complaining I'm cruel to animals, because heck, I got a bunch of them.
So how do you access particular?
You're cruel.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Okay, so far so good. We saw how to create a set. We saw how we can convert a list to a set. And we saw the duplicates are gone. We can create an empty one just like this. And it'll create an empty one. If I tried to check the link, what it'll be?
0.
0, because there's none in it. Okay. And while going over this, I totally forgot about sets when I wrote one of the programs I did for John the Ripper, and there was some function in there that sets would have made it so much easier. I totally didn't even think about it. So I got to go find what that was and rewrite it.
Check or check?
Okay. So to determine whether Noman is in there, you just got to say if it's in.
Check.
If Luigi in cast. Okay. It's in there. So let's see if my cats are in the list. If, let's say, let's come up with a different name. What was,
That's an actual password.
if, or, I don't know that. I don't need the parentheses. In cats, print, yes. So I'm going to check and see if Oreo is in the list. And cats. It didn't do anything. Why didn't it do anything?
Because you don't have Oreo on.
Because I don't have Oreo in there. Very good. So now I can go over here and change this to say Sam.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to change it up a little bit more. Now I'm going to check for Oreo in names. Because it doesn't, don't we have a list of names? Yes, we do. Okay, didn't do there. Let's check Sam in names. Because names is the list, isn't it?
It's both. You made one for.
Yeah, but
set
the
one.
last one I made, it was a list.
Okay.
So it keeps the last one I made.
So what if you make a set and a list? What's
So they
the name?
both work the same in finding something. Okay? The only difference is the set, you can't reference it by index number. Okay, so that's how we did that. How can we access them? We could print each of them, okay? So we're going to do for character in cast, okay? So let's go over here. We're going to say for X in cats, print X. Now I'm going to be accessing each element in cats, and I'm going to print them out. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing now with names, which is my list. I'm just trying to show you some comparisons here. It does exactly, okay, not exactly, it does the same thing, but the list gives it to us in order. The set does not. So far, they're about equal. So each of the functionalities is available on both. Everyone with me so far? Is anybody totally lost? Is anybody playing Mario?
No, I'm understanding what sets are, but I'm not sure
A set,
how it is.
don't worry about how it does it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not how to do, how I would use it. The program is what I'm trying to figure out.
well, we're actually going to get to an example of that.
How they go.
So here it says, for example, the previous loop, we had them in, how were they put in there as? They were put in as Luigi, Gumby, Spiny. Okay, but here they printed out as Gumby, Spiny, Luigi. Okay. Note that the order of the elements in the output is different from the order in which the set was created. Okay. We can also use sorted. Use the sorted function that returns a list, not a set. So you're actually sorting the set into a list and then printing the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay, let me bring my code up here. Okay, so I'm going to take this here, and for X, we're going to go with this one again. I'm going to put my parenthesis here. So for sorted, you notice it even tells me it returns a list. Okay, so what this did was it went through my set of cats, sorted it into a list, and then we use that list. Okay, so now they are in order.
So,
It did not sort the set. It sorted it into a list.
so if you print sorted cats, it'll print the list of the cats as well.
I don't know. I bet I could. You're right. Well, actually, maybe not. I'm not sure. I never tried that.
All right.
Okay, let's try this. It did. It actually printed out the list. But if I did print cats, see the difference here? Print sorted cats printed out the list because we know sorted creates a list. But if I just print cats, you'll see the difference. See, this is square brackets, this is braces, this is the set, this is the list.
Interesting.
Okay. Good idea there.
Sorted.
All right, so you still can sort it. So did we save any memory by doing that?
Save
Not
them.
really, because we actually created a list. So we used up a little more memory. But all right, so the sets are mutable collections, so you can add elements. Remember how strings are immutable? You cannot add to a string. You can create a new string that's longer, you just can't add to it. Well, sets are mutable. We can always add to them with add very easily. Okay? They might not necessarily stay in the particular order you're adding them in. And just like the example I didn't do it this way. Let's do mine this way. Okay, so we know cats has that in there. So I'm going to go to cats to add CC. This is my cat that's no longer with us. Okay. My son got her from, Chuck E. Cheese. He worked at Chuck E. Cheese and he ran into her car. And he called her a Teo because she was really weird. And I renamed her CC, in other words, just a C and a C for Crazy Cat. But it's just easier this way. So if I print cats out again, you'll see I have CC. So I'm going to add CC again. Now you notice I'm not getting an error. Y'all see that? But do I have CC twice? No, I do not.
So it's a set, it won't do it.
Right, which is a very nice feature. That's what I'm saying. That preposition file would have been perfect to do as a set because it would never have a duplicate. Yeah. So just do the read line and add. Each one just add to a set. You're good. Then you don't have to worry about if it already exists. All right. There's also discard. Okay, there's two different ways to get rid of stuff. Discard, it says method removes an element if it exists. Okay? So let's we'll be really mean over here, and we're going to discard CC. Okay, here we go. Okay, now CC should be gone. She is. So I'm going to discard her again.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, I'll discard her a third time. So what's happening?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What if you have multiple, so,
You can't have multiple.
oh no, so what I'm saying is if you have multiple elements, like if you have 4 cookies in your set and you discard
You can't have duplicates.
Not in a set.
You can't have duplicates. Watch. Watch, I'm going to add CC over here, okay? I'm going to add CC 4 times. CC should be in there 4 times, but she's only in there once. Because if it already exists, it does not add.
I'm not free. Let me rethink of how to ask this question.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
All right. So let me discard CC again. So mean. All right. So let's go back here. So we know how to discard. Now, if you try to discard again, or if it doesn't exist, it just whatever, does not cause any issues at all. So is that good or bad? Well, it's good that, but what if I meant to discard, I don't know, something else? What if I spelled kernel wrong? And now there was a kernel on the list, and I was trying to discard kernel, I typed it wrong. Now kernel is still on the list. So I mean, it's not going to come up and say, hey, kernel doesn't exist. You want to get rid of the kernel? Okay. But there is something called remove. The remove, on the other hand, removes the element if it exists, but raises an exception if it's not a member. Okay, so let's go try that one. So what we're going to see, we can discard CC all day long, no problems. Which is so mean for that cat. Okay, now we're going to try to remove CC. It threw an error. But let me put her back in real quick. Put her back in. Now we're going to remove her. And it removes just fine. But when there is no other name, it gives an error. So you can actually use that error to, hey, did you spell it right or something like that? You could actually use it to check the spelling. See what I'm talking about? See the big difference between remove and discard? Okay. For everything else in this class, they always use discard. It's just easier to, you don't have to worry about a program crashing. You understand the difference? That'll be a great test question. I have to remake the test because the test sucked last time. So. You could also use clear. What do you think clear does? You still have the set, but there's just no link. There's nothing in it, no elements. Okay. All right. Now we can have subsets. A set is a subset of another set if and only if the first, or if and only if every element of the first set is also an element of the second set. Okay. So the Canadian flag has a subset of the British colors. So you'll notice Canadian is red and white. It's a subset because all of the Canadian colors belong to the British flag. And it also is a subset of it. No, it's not. Yeah, it's also a subset of Italian. Okay.
That just answers my question, actually. Okay.
Okay. So it says the image below Canadian flag is a subset of British flag. Yeah, it is. Oh, the Italian flag is not a subset of British. I'm sorry. I thought we were still working on Canadian. Italian is not a subset because it contains green, that one contains blue. A subset is all elements of it. Now, I'm going to tell you.
Why is it a subset if they have the
It's
same
not a
color?
subset.
I mean the Canadian one.
It's a subset because all of the colors in Canadian are present in British.
Yeah, but
So think of British as a set. A subset must be, everything in the subset must be part of the main one.
I get it.
See what I'm saying?
It's just,
So if I got a set of forks, I pull out two, they're still part of the set. But if I had a spoon, well, the spoon's not in the original set. A fork, so it wouldn't be a set.
I just think it's weird because of both the British and the Italian flag have the same colors as the Canadian, so I don't know why the Canadian wouldn't be the common denominator.
It's the common denominator, but okay. So the Canadian
why would the
flag
British
is a
and the-
subset of British,
So why would it be a subset?
and a
if they
Canadian
have the
is
same-
also a subset of Italian. That's what I thought they originally did over there.
Okay.
So Canadian is a subset of both of them.
Yeah, that's where that's why it's
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah,
They
that's
need
why
a
I thought it
third
was
one.
Canadian over there again. It's not.
Yeah, they need 3 Venn diagrams.
Yeah, that's why it threw me off initially too. Don't worry, it's going to get weirder. Okay, we can use is subset. So we have Canadian, British, so you can check and see if Canadian is a subset of British, or is it a subset of Italian, or whatever. Okay, and it just has to exist. Okay. It says returns true or false to report whether one set is a subset of another. So here, let's try an example of that. So now we have a list of all my cats here. So I'm going to say Ken's cats. Is Snuggles.
Are you gonna do dogs now?
Okay. Now we want to know is print Ken's cats is subset cats.
That should print true.
What do you think? True or false? I say it's going to be false. Because is Ken's cats a subset of the one you can't see up there?
Oh, it's gonna be false
Because I deleted CC.
Also spelled wrong.
it's
Yeah,
also,
so you
it's
spelled it
also
wrong.
It's kin cats.
Darn. Ken cats.
it's also because they won't have the same first.
I don't think the order matters. So I'm going to add CC back into cats. Now Ken cats should be a subset because they both belong.
Is there a way to specify which portion of the subset is lacking in the superset?
I don't know. Wait, yeah, well, there's a join. I think
You
you
know
know
what I'm
what
saying?
join.
Like, because when it hit false, it doesn't tell you which one is
Right,
false,
no,
whether
I
it's
don't-
CC or Snuggles.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Okay.
I haven't seen how you can do that. There might be a way. Or you can always write your own function and find out which one's missing. Okay, so do everybody understand what we did there? We made a new subset. We made a new set called Ken cats. Then I checked if it was a subset of cats, and the answer came back false because CC did not belong there. Then I added CC in the cats, and now it says yes. Now it is a true subset of cats. It's confusing. So in here, Canadian is true because Canadian, both colors are in British. Now here is Italian a subset of British? No.
Can you go back a slide?
Italian is different. It has green and British has blue.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
So here, which one are we at? Yeah. This is true. What? Wait, why is it true?
If not,
There you go. We got the not there.
Ah.
So the Italian is not a subset, but then, so this returns false. Then we said not false, true. That not stuff gets you all the time.
not double negative. Not false, true. False, negative.
Okay.
True.
All right. Equality. We use the same. We use double equals or the not equals. Okay. So we have French. So if British is equal to French, they are the same colors. Now, let's try this. We're going to try this real quick. So British. I know it should be capital letters, but no. Red, white. No, they can't be.
You put red twice.
I know, I did. I'm fixing it. Because they can't be red, white, and blue. No, we can be capital letters. Ah. Okay, so if I now print out British, that's weird. Isn't that weird?
See, because the USA is a subset of the British.
Well, I want to see if they're equal first of all. Print British. That's true. Okay. So even though I created them in alternate order, they're still the same.
You are my child.
Everybody understand that? And it actually shows up perfectly there. We created which one? The British one starting with blue, yet it printed it out with red. I have no idea why. Everybody okay on equality? Okay. Union. Okay. Now union joins them together. It's a set of two sets contains. Union creates a set. Should be a set, isn't it? Should be a set.
Yeah.
The union of two sets contains all members of both sets with duplicates removed.
Yeah.
So if it was creating a list, it would not be removed. So what's going to happen here? If I say, hold on.
The program and all your.
So if I want to print out,
It's gonna be red, white, green, blue.
what am I going to get?
Nothing.
It's the same
Oh, I'm
thing.
going to get something.
Red,
So we can get red, white, blue because it removes all the duplicates.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay. I
It
understand.
removes all the duplicates.
It did blue, red, white this time. Though.
Yeah, so we're going to make these
Why?
guys, we're going to change their colors.
Yeah.
What other color does British want?
Orange.
Orange, okay. I don't know why, but it's okay.
The sun never sets on
So
the
now if we do union,
See the
it should include red, white, blue, and orange.
orange.
So since British now contains orange, when we want a union of them, we actually get all three that's in USA plus the orange that was in British. Yes? Did anybody lost?
No,
No,
I
everybody's
want to tell
talking
you what
about this?
these commands are doing.
Yeah, very simple stuff. Okay, intersection, that's the thing I was wondering if that's what you wanted. So let's do intersection. So now we're going to print out, actually I should be able to just take this one here. Intersection, or is it just intersect? Oh, it's intersection, okay. So now I printed out British intersection USA.
Those are only the things that are common.
Right. Orange was not included because orange did not exist.
What if you put in the Dutch flag too?
You can actually, I think you can actually chain them.
Yeah, can you intersect a set that's being intersected?
I bet you can. Well, give me another flag color.
I mean, the Dutch is orange, blue, or orange.
Okay,
white.
Dutch equals,
No. Dutch is blue, white, and red too, actually, but it's turned on the side.
well, they're gonna be orange today.
Oh, you know what? Irish is orange.
Yeah.
Irish is,
I have green, orange, and white.
Orange, green.
But we need
Yeah, it's orange, green, and white.
today they're just orange. Actually, they'll be fine. I'll put in all of them.
You should put in green
Yeah, that's
and white because white is common.
Oh, yeah, so we compare.
Okay, so now we're gonna do our intersection here.
Dot. You want to put that in the
It should work just like this. It should.
Which can just give you white then, right?
Yeah. What we did was it took the British and US, which was
Red, white, blue.
white and blue, red, white, blue, then intersected with orange, so we only got white. It's kind of weird, but it works.
Surprised you don't need another like.
Yeah, I'd say method call. This is like in Java, it's called method call chaining, where you can keep adding stuff. It's really nice.
So is it that it's?
It does this.
It does the intersection of British USA, and then it intersects with Irish. Yeah.
Does the order matter?
Yes, it does. I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, in our case, it
Not
would
in this
still
one,
be the
but
same
yeah,
answer. Because like a lot of times you can call a function to do something, then dot print.
So if you did an append function and then did the intersection after the append, that's gonna work.
Okay, so
versus
what color could we add to make?
you could do like Argentina.
Well, okay, no. Who could we add to? Okay, Irish is. Let's add red. Is red in all of them?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not in Irish.
Yeah.
So if I do, this is a test. I don't know if it's going to work.
If you change it from orange to red.
So if I go Irish,
Whoa.
I don't know if it's going to work, so it doesn't work.
Hit a dot. Yeah, there you
won't-
go.
I don't think it'll-
No
It's,
idea if it's going to work. If it does work, we should get an
Would it be
intersection of
dot
white and
append
red.
if it's a set?
But
Would it be dot append if it's a set?
oh, it's not append. It's
Add.
add. Good catch. No, can't do it. Can't do that. I just wasn't sure if we could. What it's saying is that the British is not part of the app. That's okay. So disregard that last part. It was stupid. Kind of cool though to try it though.
So what does it give if you do an intersection and they don't have anything in common?
Then I would assume it wouldn't print out anything.
If you put that.
So let's go to Irish and we're going to change white to
Blank.
Purple. Gray.
gray today.
You know.
So now we're going to go back to this one here. Nope, this one here.
That one, yeah.
Empty set.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. We could have always checked the length and it would return a 0. Okay, so there's intersection. I wonder, is there any way to tell what didn't intersect? So that's what I was wondering about. He was asking.
I bet it's on the next slide.
I don't. Oh, it is difference. Okay, duh. I even looked this over. And I couldn't remember it. It's a difference.
It's gonna be plenty.
Red, white, and blue. Because Irish had orange, green, and gray. So what happened is we did the first intersection between British and US, and then we did the difference of Irish. So I'm going to bring this. What are we going to get now?
No.
Shouldn't get nothing. Oh, that's right. We
Yeah,
changed British colors. Duh. We changed British. So if I brought this down and did intersect, we should have the other two.
No, you have to change it to the USA to Irish, I think.
No, I should still get the other two. Hold on.
It's still the
No, it's intersection. Now we should get red and white.
Oh, okay.
Red, white, and blue.
Oh, because British has blue?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
'cause
right. I added gray, didn't I?
Yeah.
Where did I do that? Yeah, there it is.
Red Irish.
No.
Wait, go find.
Where did I add the orange? I added to British somewhere, didn't I? Okay, hold on. What is British? Oh, I did. I added it to British. Okay.
Ta-da.
Okay. So what if I did union now? Or was it join?
Union.
Couldn't remember. Yeah, that gave us everything. Okay. All right, so we got those. So we learned about how to create a set. We learned how to initialize one by hard coding the value there, or we can check length. We can also add to it. We can also discard. Remember, discard does not throw an exception. Remove does. Also clear it. We can check if it's a subset.
Before we go, can you go back to what you just did? Why did it give you an orange with the union between USA and?
Because
it adds them
it's
together.
everything together, just no duplicates.
Okay.
Yeah, because it took the
The difference.
Oh, yeah,
red, white,
sorry, I'm
orange,
getting
and
union
blue.
and intersection confused because yeah, sorry.
Not a problem. Okay. So we got this as a subset, and we also learned about equals or not equals. We learned about union, intersection, and difference. Okay. Says, remember, union, intersection, difference return new sets. They do not modify the set. And which one returned a list? Which one returned a list? Didn't one of these return a list?
Yeah, they did.
Sort?
Yeah,
Sort did. Yeah, why didn't they list that on here? Yeah, we also did the sort.
That's why you forgot that.
Okay. I'm not going to walk through that example,
Oh, my.
but I do want to walk through right here, right now. I want to write the code to read in my preposition file into a set and remove the duplicate. Well, y'all should do this. Y'all need to do something. Then you can turn it in as an in-class exercise for today. And also take it home with you.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all need to help me write this. I'm gonna write it all.
So we're going to make.
You gotta open the file first.
So in file,
So
parentheses, prepositions, okay.
That's it.
And what am I putting over here? Somebody already said it. All right. Okay. And what am I gonna do last? Still think we got an error somewhere.
Yeah, we're not. It's in the info. Yeah, so she's got it.
Ah, I gotta put open right here.
yeah.
Oh,
I thought you already did that.
I thought just like what you guys said. So I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna call it whatever today is. This is called the 29th October. Okay, so I ran and did nothing.
So we aren't doing anything with it.
Oh, shit. What do I gotta do now? I wanna read it in.
File equals in file dot read line. If you want to read line,
File equals? That'll work.
part line, sorry, I was thinking of it.
I'm gonna go with line
Yeah,
instead.
go with line. I did toss this one else.
Okay. I'm gonna run this. Perfect. And I always like running it multiple times. That way we would have caught that open missing very quickly. Okay, now what are we gonna do to it? What was that if statement? Or no, why? What was it, a for or
A
what?
while.
Well, line does
Why?
not equal like empty quotations.
How do I do non equals?
Explanation.
Explanation equals. I'm just gonna see if it works. Okay? Just test it to see if it works. Abort. Abort. And we need a board, not a board.
You need to put line inside of the one.
Oh. Okay, so why did it just do that?
We don't have another read line statement telling it basically to go to the next line.
Okay, so I need to read in the next line. So we read the first one, and is all we did. Something like that, maybe?
Sure.
Worked. Those of you who missed my code trick. If I did it correctly, I should have as in here twice.
I can't find it directly.
It's in there twice. So we know it's working. So how can I add it to a set? Actually, you know what? Let's add it to a list first. We'll call it line list. I don't know. We'll call it prep list. How do I create a list? So what am I going to do here instead of print? Print. No, I got to change that word. What do you think? Isn't that beautiful? Well, heck. What did I do wrong now? Didn't do nothing. So I took the print off, so I can check it here. Oh. Perfect. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So we read it all in. And down here at the end, I'm going to say print prep list. That's pretty worthless. And we have as twice. All right, how am I going to fix it? Now I want to convert it to a set.
Just set brackets.
Do what?
Or
Right here?
in the print statement, if you want to set it, so let's use print set.
Oh, I can. That's a good point. I could do that. That's actually a very good point. That would be simple. So now is at, ooh, it's not an order. How am I going to find as in there now?
You got find.
Can I do a find with a set?
We don't know.
You could.
Why don't I?
You could do it for them.
I could do sorted.
Sorted set.
Why is it not finding the font?
And now as is only in there once. See right there?
Is there a specific directory that you're supposed to put these in so that you can, it'll actually read it because it's not finding it online?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
You guys, you do have the preposition file, don't you?
Yeah, I do, and it's
Yeah.
not finding it in the directory.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too. It's a no such file or directory error.
See, I can run it
Transfer mine on the desktop.
I double checked that it's in my.
Are you making
dump
sure
Okay,
drive.
where is you? Where's
It's
this
spelled
code?
correct?
Where's
Where is
this
it?
file?
It's in my script program file.
Proposition. And it wasn't.
Here's the file.
Oh, it's plural. That's
Prepositions
why.
with an S.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. I have it.
Okay, show me where this file is located.
This one right here is in my script program.
Okay,
We
then where's
misspelled
preposition?
it is the problem.
Oh, it needs to be in the same directory.
Oh.
Yep, needs to be in the same directory. Yep, needs to be in the same directory as this thing.
Oh, that's why it worked before, because that the program file is in my downloads.
How do you read from a different directory then? If
You
don't-
specify the path.
Okay.
You can do dot slash whatever or C colon whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is this not in my directory?
In the open statement?
I'm getting an
Yes.
invalid start byte. I don't know.
Is your file blank or something? Or got something at the top of it?
Okay. Now we're
Let me
working.
save and try it again. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
did-
could specify, you could do like C colon backslash blah 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 backslash blah blah. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I missed a bit of code that you
Put it
did
in my
wrote while I was
desktop.
trying to catch up. Sorry.
Ah.
Let me.
All right. So far we're here, but that's kind of cheating. We made a list, we appended it to the list, so we appended as twice. But then we converted to a set, then we sorted it back into a list and printed it. What if I want to use just a set? I don't want to use any list.
Like, just have prep list be an empty set then.
How do I do that?
Just empty spoolie brackets.
Right there? And what do I do here?
So it'd be a set to begin with. It would never be a list.
Yeah.
I want to say the empty brackets don't work because I tried that before. I wasn't like.
Oh, but,
Oh, no, it's this.
oh, yeah, it's set.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh.
It's that.
I was saying the movie elevator.
So now I should just be able to print.
You don't even have to do this
It's
one.
not a list anymore, but it should work. Should. Yep, work fine.
Do we still need to sort it?
No. But, oh, I want to show you all something. Hold on. Okay, I want to show you this slide real quick. When you write a program that manages a collection of unique items, sets are far more efficient than lists. Yes.
Mine didn't work because of the append, where I need to change append to
Add.
add.
Yep, because we made it to a set. So here's how we add to a set. We use add. Here's how we add to a list with append. It says, however, the resulting program is much slower. The speed factor difference is over 10 times. So adding, think about it. What is item list.append doing?
It adds to the end of the list.
It adds it to the end of the list. What's this one doing?
Just putting everything in there.
Good.
Throw it at
Exactly. See, this here is me unloading my dishwasher. This is my mother-in-law. It's like, where's all the whatever? Oh, they're in the drawer with the scissors or whatever. You know, it's like, what the heck? This one, we don't care about the location. We're just throwing it in.
It's an odd way of looking at it.
It's crazy like
No,
that.
it's
You know,
gonna
the
rain and
dishwasher,
it's
it's
gonna
like,
hail.
we'll have like 3 plates, a bowl, and then a cup. All on top of each other. It's like, why isn't the cups with the cups and the bowls with bowls and
You ready for?
the steak knives and the forks and stuff? It's like, what the? All right, so I think that's all about that. I'm gonna stop the recording today. I recommend, if you want to look at this spell check, it's really good. But you know, it's up to you. You don't need to. But there's so many examples in there. So you all should have your prepositions working now, correct?
Yeah.
So you need to upload that. I'm going to make a file for you real quick.
So we're gonna do pretty much the same thing, but with the lead paragraphs.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it would.
Do you want us to have our files in sets?
Yeah, but I'm going to stop the recording. I don't see even.